this video, you are going to create a navbar. As compared to the final one, we have this beautiful navbar. So this is what we are going to implement in our project. Cool. So let's head over to Material UI and then let's search for Material UI. Alright, and the first, click on Material UI and there you go. Alright, cool. So if you click on this drop down here, we have all the components. So on the components, let's go down and you see what is called surfaces and app bar. Or better still, you can come here and then search for app bar and then you select that, the same process. Alright, cool. So if you look at the nav bar, we have the app bar, we have different types. This one, this one, this one, based on your need. Alright, so let's implement the simple app bar. So this is how I'm going to show you how to use any component in Material UI. First, nobody memorize all the code in any framework. It's about knowing how to use and when to use. So if you look at this structure of this navbar, it tells you exactly how we want ours. We want something here at the left hand side and something here on the right hand side. Alright, cool. So if you look at the structure, at the first glance, it looks scary. The way Material UI style their component is a little bit different from other frameworks like Bootstrap or Tailwind CSS. Alright, cool. So they take the app bar and other stuffs here. So to show you, let's copy everything here, the app bar. Alright, copy that. And then let's go back to our code. But before that, let me show you how you're going to structure React project. This is how personally I like it. So here inside my SRC, let's create one folder called component. Components are the functions that are going to be reused in the entire project. Alright, so let's create one folder called pages. So these pages are going to render once. For example, if you look at the final one, we have the movies components, that's page, and we have that as well. Alright, cool. So inside components, let's create one folder called navbar, because this navbar is going to be used in the entire project. Okay, and inside the navbar, we are going to create our navbar component. Navbar component. The reason why I'm adding a component to it is that the navbar is a predefined component in Material UI, so it will conflict. The next one I'm going to create is called drawer component. We are going to also implement the drawer, but for now, let's bring in the file, and in the next video, we are going to implement a drawer as well. Alright, cool. So now that we have our navbar, next, let's create our component, and I'm going to use a snippet. So I have this extension being installed ES7, ES6, from this guy, DS Niger, help us to that scaffold the component. And the one I'm going to use is called the tab 9 for autocomplete intelligence. Alright, cool. So now that I have all these extensions being installed, that's going to make my life easier. Let's head over to the navbar component, and I'm going to use a snippet called RAFCE. And when I hit enter, there you go, I have my navbar. And let me paste the one I copied from Material UI. And there you go. Alright, so Material UI needs a couple of props and some components. So I'm going to explain to you every code I write in Material UI. Alright, so first let's require the component. Sorry guys. So let's import it here. These components are from Material UI core. Alright, Material UI, at Material UI core. And I need, first of all, the app bar. I also need the toolbar, and I also need what button, and I think, yeah, this one, like that. So let's also look at what it needs. I will show you how we can start a component. So we also need menu icon. So we can go back to Material UI website, and then let's bring in the other component. We have menu icon here. These are from icons, right? We have icon button here. Let's copy the menu icon here, and let's go back to the code. Let me rearrange it well, like that. Okay, so let's also bring in the icon. You can see that this is from different path. This is from icons and these are from the core. Okay, and menu, I have what is called menu icon. All right, so we also need the icon button, so let's also bring in the icon button here. All right, so let me go through the code here a little bit. You know, for Navbar we have the parent wrapper called outbar, and in between we have what is called toolbar. So this toolbar gives us the default styling, and here we have what's called the icon button here that I'll show in the menu icon and the new. So let's render this component. So let's go to app.js file here, and then for the meantime let's require that. It's called Navbar component. I have the auto import for me above here like that. All right, cool. So instead of rendering this h1, let's render our Navbar component and let's check it out what we have. Let's see. There we go. Yeah, okay, it will crash because it needs some props. It needs typography. Did you see that? So let's also bring in a typography as well. So let's go to Navbar component, and here let's bring in typography. All right, cool. Now come back to the styling. So the way Material UI style component is using a function, right? Or we can create your inline styling. But if you want to customize individual component, you can use a function from Material UI core called make styles. All right, so let me show you how to use customize your component. So here, let's comment here and say customize component like that. And here, let's create a function. Let's assign a function to this variable called use style. We're going to use this style in this component, and we're going to make use of make style. All right, and this make style takes a callback as a function, and in here we have the theme inside our component, and this one, let's return an object, and this object we can map all the properties we want. For example, if we want to style a title, we give it a value and curly braces and provide any CSS class name you want. So let me call this one just color. Okay, background color, right? Background color. Sorry, background, and then let's give it say red. All right, so how can we apply this style to the component? So inside here, let's create an instance of this use style and give it a variable called classes, and it's equal to use styles as a function. So if you console of classes, this one, we have all the properties here. So if you doubt, let's do that. So console.log the classes. All right, so let's check it out what we have. So let's open the console, and you can see that we have objects with a class name title called make style title here. Did you see that? There we go. And if you look at our navbar, it has been rendered, but look, we have the styling, right? So it means that this news has a property called title. That is why it's applied that class. So if you look at it, let's look at the title. We see that we have dot title. That's what we have. All right, so cool. Now that you know how to apply classes to individual elements in your component using Material UI to make our life easier, let's go back to the code and let's copy the style for that. You see, we have the style here. So let's copy the whole styles here. And then let's go back to our code, and then let's replace their style with this. And let's check it out. There we go. We have exact one as this. But our background color is something like this. You can start it a little bit. All right, cool. So now we have our navbar here being displayed nicely for us. So what we are going to do is that we need to bring in some tabs. If you look at the final one, right, we have these links, right? But Material don't have that one for us. Cool. So we are going to use another component called tabs. So let's search for tabs. All right, and these tabs, if you look at how it is, look at how it is. So it means that we can also implement the same way as we want. All right, so let's go back again, and this is how I use Material UI. First of all, because I'm not going to memorize everything here, so before I implement that, first of all, let's bring the component called tabs and then tab. All right, cool. So first, where can we display all the tabs? For example, let's write something here and say, let me say movies. I want to know where this text will appear. So here, the final one, you see that it is here, movies, but I don't want that to be here. I want it to be here. So this is how we implement the tabs. So let's comment here, but before that, let's comment here and say tabs. So here, let's bring the tabs, the parent component, and then in between we have the individual tab. All right. So to be able to know the prop that each of these takes, you can go to the material component and then scroll down, and you can see that we have the API. Scroll down, and then you see the API here, right? If you click on that, we're able to know all the props that a component takes. So if you scroll down, you can see that we have all these props. The CSS, you see, we have classes, icon, and label. So this label gives it the name. So you can use a label and icon. That is what we are going to use. So let's provide a label first to this tab, and let's give it a label of, say, first of all is the movies, right? So let's check it out. What we have, there you go, we have movies. So we can copy all of this one 3 times because we have 3 links: movies, and we have trending, and we have the TV series. So here we have TV series. Check it out, and there you go. But I don't want to be displayed, I want to push to this side. But because of typography, it gives us some default styling. So let's remove this typography here, and you can see that there we go. So but this login has also following us. I don't want that, so I want you to be here and the other one will be here. So let's apply some classes to it. So inside this class function here, let's apply this one. Let me call this one button, BTN, or let me say open drawer. For now, let me make it open drawer. Open drawer. All right. So the name is not by default. It's not by mass. You can name it whatever you want, and let's give it a margin left. If you give it a margin left of auto, so that it's going to push that one. So let's apply this open drawer CSS to the button, this one, and give it a class name called the classes instance, and I want a property called open drawer. Let's check it out and let's see. There we go. We have moved to this side. But I don't want this icon, but instead I want something like this. And I want to replace this one with my icon. So let me take this one to this side. So let's look at the icon. It's called menu icon. So let me take it from here. Let me copy that and replace with this. So instead, let me apply the class name to this menu icon instead of this. So let's see what we have. There we go. All right, but let me put it in the button. Okay, clickable or cursor, we can open. Right, and this one I want to change using my, look at this logo icon here. So let's bring in that icon, and we can get that. So let's bring in the icon. First of all, we have one icon here. So the next icon we're going to use is going to be the live TV icon. So if you go to Material UI, and then if you can go to Google and you quickly search Material UI icons, and let's click on that, and you can see that we have that. And let's click on Material UI icons, and here we can search for any icons. Let me show you how to use. So you can search for TV, and this will be used. So you copy that, you click on that, this TV icon here, and you have the code. All you need is copy the code like that, and then let's go back to our code and then bring in here, and instead of this menu icon, let's bring in our live TV icon and check it out. Let's see what we have. There we go. All right, we have it. But we have one thing. Let's also add the icons here above. So as you can see that for the prop, we have one icon we have a prop called icon, and for this we can place any icons that you want inside this. Alright, so it's icon, and then we can bring in any component. So let's bring in, first of all, let's just bring in the live TV component icon, and let me show you how it's going to appear. Check it out. There we go. So I'm going to bring in all the icons to make our life easier. So I'm going to show you. You can copy. You can go to the material icon website like I show you, and then I'll bring in 3 icons: trending app icon, local movie icon, and mover filter icon. So let's bring in the trending app icon. So the first one is trending, right? So let's copy the whole of this icon again and place it on each and change the icon name. This one is the trending. Sorry, it's trending. Oh, sorry guys. Trending icon. Trending app icon. Trending app icon. And then this one is movie filter icon, or imported movie filter icon. Check it out and let's see. Live TV icon is not imported, so I have removed that. So let's bring in that. So the icon section here, like that. We have local movie icon. So the local movie, is it this one? Let's try and see what we have. Okay, there we go. So you have our icons be nicely. All right, cool. So I think we have it done. So we are still on the Navbar. So in the next video, we are going to apply theming and customize the theme, change the color of our theme, and make it more responsive.